The Department of Education will implement a new policy mandating a shift to alternative learning modalities once typhoon signal number 2 is raised. And to provide us insights into this and other related matters, we have Pasig City Representative Roman Romulo. Congressman, thank you for joining us again.
Yes, good morning, Angelo. Angela, good morning, and to all your viewers. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat.
Of course, Congressman, I'd like to get your thoughts on the DepEd's new policy, no, to shift to alternative learning right when it hits signal number 2. Kasi ang reklamo daw ng iba, bakit pag signal number 2 lang? Bakit wala sa thunderstorm advisory or sa rainfall warning?
Yes, iba yun, no, Angelo. Meron sila for wind, which is the typhoon cyclone wind signal. Yun yung,
right.
Yun yung numbers. Yun yung 1, 2, and 3. So more or less sa ano talaga yun sa wind. I guess sa wind yun. Pag 1, they leave it up to the local government unit and to the SDS and the principals to be the ones to make that judgment. Pag umabot ng 2, then doon papasok yung automatic suspension. Pagdating naman po nung flooding or rain or heavy rains, they have a color code for that. Pag yellow, pag yellow po siya, it will be left again to the judgment of the local government official and the principals. Pero pag orange or red na yung rainfall signal ng Pag-asa o yung flooding signal nila is red, orange or red, automatic na yung suspension nun. So iba yung numbers nila sa color-coded nila.
Right.
The numbers would refer to the wind signal, the strength of the wind, while yung sa color coding nila is rainfall and flooding.
Kasi minsan yung thunderstorm lang pero grabe na, lakas na, dami ng binuhos na ulan, di ba po?
Yes, pero again, Angela, I think a good reminder to everyone talaga is that ito talaga ginawa ng DepEd is balancing between,
That's right.
of course, safety nung learner, teaching, non-teaching personnel, and of course, the academic progress of the child. So at one point, ang hirap rin talaga, kahit sa what we experience now, minsan may ulan dito sa Pasig, wala naman dun sa mga katabi namin mga
exactly.
So again, these are guideposts given to us by the Department of Education. Pero I would also, of course, everything is based on common sense. So, kunyari, magulang ka or teacher ka or principal ka, of course, sometimes you have to tingnan mo rin yung nangyayari.
That's right.
And then that's when you make your own judgment.
Exactly.
That's why I'd like to clarify, Kong. For example, you said, kunyari, taga-Pasig ako, pero yung school ko nasa Manila, pero yung mga ibang classmates ko nakapasok, ako hindi because sa area ko umuulan. Am I, as a student who lives in the place na may malakas ang ulan, can I avail of that for that day, yung modality na yan, yung alternative learning, while the rest of my classmates are on site?
Well, yung modality will not be available kasi yung modality, kunyari in the school proper itself, they can hold face-to-face classes. At alam natin, mas effective naman talaga. That class will continue. Ngayon, pag ikaw nakatira sa isang katabi ng barangay, kunyari, na wala naman masyadong ulan, umuulan ng malakas, again, chances are hindi naman mag-shift yun kasi majority of the students would have to come from that area. So, yun. But then, if you read the whole department order that was released, meron rin po nakalagay doon that the school heads must present yung alternative learning plan nila in the event of hindi na cover ng mga guideposts na binigay nila.
Right.
And I think we would urge the principals to be able to include situations that you mentioned. Kasi hindi naman lahat mako-cover talaga ng department order, That's why meron silang isang section with respect to alternative learning system that can be introduced. May plan dapat yung bawat school. So I think that we will remind DepEd to remind also the school division offices to remind their principals to include situations that you described.
Kong, speaking of alternative learning modalities, can we also define this? Kasi what my concern is also yung mga nasa far-flung areas, no, in terms of their coping mechanisms, in terms of access of yung mga gadgets, internet. Kasi we all know naman sa far-flung areas, no, madalas wala nga po silang kuryente, internet access pa.
Angela, in fact, kahit dito sa Metro Manila, merong mga lugar na sa totoo lang, very spotty ang Wi-Fi.
That's
Yes.
right. Yes.
That's the truth. That is why, if you will notice sa department order nila, I guess gaining from the experience during COVID-19,
Pandemic.
meron silang dalawang modalities na ito yung sinasabi nila that can be used. First is of course yung online. But that presupposes, as we discussed earlier, na may Wi-Fi, may gadgets, at of course Wi-Fi may connectivity talaga. But they also mentioned another alternative mode, and that is yung modular, which we also used during the pandemic. If you recall, ito yung mga set na written papers that were distributed to the families. Again, kunyari malakas yung ulan, bumabagyo. Talagang hindi naman ganun kasimple. And that is why the department order also says that ngayon pa lang, in the beginning of the school year, dapat meron na talagang iba-ibang alternative plans. Paano rin mahatid yung mga alternative plans na ito? Because again, common sense would also tell us, paano kung ang lakas ng bagyo, walang electricity, so definitely hindi pwede online. Paano naman pupunta yung estudyante sa school o yung magulang para kunin yung modules, di ba? So that is why it's a case-to-case thing. And the department order, again, advises each school to be able to discuss this internally already and to provide an alternative delivery plan, including how to deliver yung modules, just in case may something, a typhoon happens, or flooding, or heavy rains. Again, it recognizes the fact na we can't cover everything in one department order.
That's right.
One size does not fit all. So they are asking really for the help of each school to be able to propose a system.
Pero Kong, kasi I don't know if you've heard na yung ibang parents groups were saying na within the schools, kung empowered pa daw ang school mismo to decide. For example, in one class, let's sabihin na natin kasi from all walks of life ang mga students doon, Some have access to the internet, some wala. So for example, it calls for an alternative learning. Kung karamihan sa class ay pwede sa online, tapos may a few, 3 or 4% lang na hindi pwede ba mag-decide ang school na, yung tatlong yan, we will allow them to have their modules and their take-home. Yung natitira for online, sila mag-online. May ganyang power ba ang schools individually?
Yes, that is in fact included in that portion wherein each school must propose a plan, a system that they will use. So meron talaga kasi mga nuances Like what you said, that is possible. So the parents now should be able to tell their teachers, the principal, na all these different scenarios so that a plan can be provided by each individual school. And kaya naman yan to be also presented syempre sa schools division office natin.
Okay.
But that would fall under that delivery plan system that they are supposed to propose to the schools division's office.
Alright, Kong, taking this opportunity na rin to ask you po regarding what other plans po are you going to do in your committee on the 20th Congress, especially, of course, napakarami pong problema ng education system natin. We all know na we're facing functional illiteracy issues, yung mga teachers that are teaching subjects that they don't specialize in. What are your thoughts on that po?
Well, Angela, you hit it. You said it correctly. Maraming challenges, and you also gave us exactly what we want to prioritize. The most basic is really functional literacy. Tama ka, maraming challenges, but the priority should be on enabling each learner to have functional literacy. What is functional literacy, di ba? It's simply knowing how to read and understanding what one reads. It's really reading comprehension, and math. Grade level appropriate, and of course science also, no. And if we focus on these core competencies, first of all, we will be able to decongest the curriculum. By decongesting the curriculum, sa students lang, sa learners, we will be able to have them focus on yung basics, what they need to grow, what they need to really be able to study, what they are passionate about. Secondly, and equally important, it will allow our teachers some breathing space kasi lahat naman sila, 'di ba, when you study education, these are the basic things, yung functional literacy. Let everyone focus first on functional literacy because matalino naman ang batang Pilipino eh. As long as they can read and comprehend what they are reading, they can go on using technology to further studies, to be able to research on matters that are interesting to them and not merely use technology for games.
That's right.
Yung sinisisi. Pero sa totoo, because as evidenced by what you said, Angela, by the PSA, we have a functional literacy problem. And that is what should be corrected. That is the immediate concern. And so that is what we are hoping DepEd. And DepEd so far is going towards that direction already.
Kung I remember back in the day, I think sa mga 80s, no, I was subjected to this also. Yung mga SRA, yung skills reading activity, that was very effective, di ba?
Kaalaman ng edad,
generation namin ni Kong yan. Hindi. Pero ang question daw, Kong, could this SRA building modules be uploaded into technology para kasi it was very effective. I remember a lot of teachers, even the old school teachers, are saying if we could integrate it into technology, baka we can touch on reading comprehension more.
Yes, in fact, Angelo, the past, since the 18th Congress and this 19th Congress, I've been mentioning to the department and even to the secretaries about this SRA that I went through when I was in elementary.
Color-coded yun, Kong, di ba?
Color-coded yun, depending. And then, effectively, you also check your own papers. So
That's
it
right.
also promotes honesty. And then, sa totoo, nung una, meron mga hindi masyadong familiar. Pero right now, in fact, I think in some provinces, some local officials have already begun using the SRA type as already a tool to be able first to determine yung level of reading comprehension ng ilang learners. And also to tell you, because I've been asking about this since the last Congress, someone presented to me, in fact, an SRA version already in Tagalog. So lang, I'm telling that this is one thing that they should take a look at because it is something that when I was growing up, sa totoo lang, you learned reading comprehension and you don't get embarrassed if you have to hold up your skills.
Saka you were challenged, Kong, di ba, to upgrade your color, orange, brown.
That's correct. And you can speed up you can speed up your SRA levels by yourself.
That's right.
Diba? So again, we've been mentioning this, and I'm thankful that you mentioned it again because hopefully we will be able to remind the DepEd that this is really one important tool that they should really be considered. And I have a feeling because local governments are already introducing it. I found out in some provinces. So maybe this is already, they have already begun doing it already.
But talking about Department of Education, Kong, we all know that recently po merong mga cases that are going to be filed against former DepEd officials regarding the 2.4 billion outdated laptops. I was wondering, is your committee also looking at the possibility of doing an investigation on this para po in the future hindi na maulit ito?
Ma'am Angela, in fact, even before this issue became known more publicly or it came out in media, I think in 2023 or 2024, we already, and the committee already took a look at this issue. And we also investigated it already. And I think our records and what were submitted to the committee are all in Congress. So it's whatever was given to us, it's there. We have the minutes should be complete. We've asked DepEd to explain this in several committee meetings. That is why I'm happy that now it has been taken notice of. But we, in actuality, Angela, we already before even anyone else was mentioning this, we already had committee meetings specifically on this particular contract.
Right. Apparently, we have a lot of questions for you, but we don't have much time. We hope to get you again next time. But for the meantime, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras sa Pasig City Representative Roman Romulo.
Thank you, Angelos. Thank you, Angela.